Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Delta.app One Hub Racing for the start of season 28. This is P3 tier, and tonight, round one, we are at Barcelona as the first few cars are taking to the track, which is good to see. We'll just sorry, apologies. Let me get things on my end just sorted. So we'll quickly start off with our sponsors for One Hub Racing. So Delta.app is our new sponsor for this season. From this season. This is make all your investments in one place, make smarter decisions on the world's top, the world's top investors, and track your journey to success with Delta. And this is for over 18s only, I do stress. So if you're under 18, please do not download the app. And yes, a big thank you to them. We are also sponsored by Next Level Racing, who also provide us with our prizes for each season, as I actually did win a sim racing rig from Next Level Racing as I moved on to the wheel, so very appreciative of that as well. Sim Racing Setups, they also sponsor our driver of the day here in One Hub Racing, as we will quickly find who's the lead car. As yes, Sim Racing Setups. Yes, they provide professional setups for dry, inters, and wet setups. They do all sorts of setups, such as safe setups and esports setups, and also strategies on when to use ERS and during your racing and qualifying. They also sponsor the league with the driver of the day winners, and you can also save up to 5% on their setups through One Hub Racing. And then we also have Pure Sim Gear, who also sponsor the league with racing socks, racing gloves for the most fastest laps and pole positions over the course of a season. You can also get 10% off using OHR 10p when you are checking out. So please do check them out. They do racing gloves and racing socks. Will be tempted to check in myself with that. And Vespertine are also partnered with us, or they provide us with some great merch and prizes. And you can also get your lovely One Hub shirts as well. And finally, we are powered by SimGrid, who we run who help run the league and getting everybody signed in and ready to go when we go racing. I believe I've done all the exchanges with that. As now let's duck into some qualifying action. Ivor in the McLaren takes... I'm going to struggle pronouncing names, so I do apologise if I get it wrong. Adagio 17 with a 1 minute 12.7. That is very competitive lap time already. JR Mason is, or John, I believe, as Fish goes pole position with a 1 minute 12.6. Top of the pile. Welsh Benjamin is in third in the Alpine with a 1 minute 12.874. A great opening lap for him. Further down the grid, we have also got two drivers in the pits who haven't set a lap yet. We've got Quinniff just coming in, long-term teammate of mine in One Hub Racing. Unfortunately, we are not, as Jess retires coming into the pit lane. A huge error by Jess. That is really unfortunate. I think she's binned it going into the pits. Her car has been cleared up and going by this slow-looking Aston Martin, and I believe, let me just get the Aston Martin driver's name up. Matthias, I believe. Yes, that is Matthias. So a huge mistake by Jess early on in the session. That is not how she wants to finish her session early on. Huge disappointment for Jess there. As Jess is in P6, so hoping she will not drop too many places. We are pretty quiet at the moment, as I think these drivers are returning to the pits. So yes, I believe there are some big hitters here in this P3 division as well. Rydog is certainly a driver to keep an eye on. Gazzaman almost certainly as well. Joey B has just converted to the wheel. He has ditched his controller and said no, he will go to the wheel as F1 Matthias is... Oh, wait. I'm not too sure who this is in P7 then, in kind of just a squiggle of names. Matthias is in the Kicksauber at the back of the grid as it stands at the moment. Hello to the One Hub chat. It's nice to have you on board for my commentary debut. I've been knocking around One Hub for some time now, and yes, Jess found me earlier this week. She saw one of my commentary streams for another league and said, "Hey, you are going to join us on Sundays." So I felt obliged from there to join APP in their to join One Hub Racing in their bid for commentators. So it's nice to be here as Kenzie Retro. I'm guessing that is Jess. Not how you wanted to start the season. I'm guessing not with that DNF going into the pits. Let's see if we can find some qualifying action, and we will ride on board with Sir Quinniff. We've also got Joe just starting a lap as well. Gazzaman is about to cross the line as well. As let's just see who is on laps. Gazzaman also just crossing the line to start a lap. So just I think Quinn will be the first of these second runners to potentially do a lap, unless no Mikey actually in the Aston Martin coming around the final corner now onto the pit straight. You want to get the car as wide as possible as well to maximise your speed to the line with Mikey. P4 for him. That's a great effort in the 1 minute 12.9s. Sir Quinniff coming around the last corner as well to the line out of ERS, but Quinniff up to P6 with a 1 minute 13.022. A good lap from Sir Quinniff. Joey B bails on that lap actually, as Gazza not looking too good for the Ferrari drivers at the moment. Ivor Bryn Mike round the last corner, the Welshman to the line, and he goes P5 with a 1 minute 12.959. So Mason up in second, unless I've just missed that. That is a great lap, as I believe Mason is actually 71, 72 years old, so definitely the oldest person racing with us. And yes, for us oldies, that is great. It's what we love to see. Mikey in the Aston Martin is coming into the pits. We have 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes left in this qualifying session, as M125 is he on a lap? I don't think he could potentially be on a lap actually, looking at his ERS levels here. No, is he saving? No, he's not on a lap. I went head to head with M125 in the championship a while ago now. And yes, very competitive, and the driver I respect a hell of a lot around here. Is definitely flourishing within one hub racing since I've known him to join. So it's nice to see him on the field, and I'm sure he can do a competitive lap come the end. Jason is back, is on a lap in the Mercedes. We will see how he gets on. He is yet to set a time, and ferociously throwing that Mercedes around that long right-hander. I will get corner numbers up shortly. I am terrible with corner numbers. I'm fairly new to this commentary business, so please do bear with me, as this is a tricky corner. You flick the steering wheel left, and you don't want to ride that sausage curb on the right-hand side up the hill here, and then take the long right-hander as fast as you dare. Open your DRS, get to the right-hand side of the track. Curbs are very flat around here, so you can get your car on the curbs as well. And then this long left-hander, which seems to take forever. You feather the throttle, and then into this long right-hander again. You're feathering the throttle, trying not to light up the rears and spin the car. As now, around the last corner, takes that very nicely. As he got optimum pace around here, Jason up to 6th position with a 1 minute 12.8. A very promising lap for Jason indeed. We have Matthias just starting a lap as well, so we'll be sure to keep an eye on him. Adagio in the Williams didn't go faster, I believe. Fish coming around the last corner. He is improving. If he carries on improving at this rate, he will go pole, and he does. It's a 1 minute 12.5 for Fish. It's a great lap. Whopping Proverb in the Haas now. I believe he is on a lap. We will... No, he's not. He's actually on a cooldown lap. So Jason just set a lap. Mikey also, I believe, just improved as he went across the line. As that Aston Martin, if anyone can point me in the right direction of who this mystery Aston Martin driver is. In fact, I do have the information to look, so bear with me as I quickly fire it up. No, I don't have his actual name. That is his name. So we're going to call him H until he actually specifies a preferred name. So Hegswist. Yeah, I'm just going to call him H for now. Frederick. Okay, Frederick. Thank you, Mogs, in the chat. Yes, no, we'll call him Frederick. That will do. Frederick then in the Aston Martin. I will work on my my lingual tongue in the commentary box and pronounce all your names much easier. Joey B up to 5th in the Ferrari. This is Joe's first league race, I believe, venturing onto the steering wheel, which is great to see. I've raced with Joe for a few years now, and he is literally just in the last week or so ditched the controller in the bin. Head fist, yes, that sounds actually, I do remember hearing something like that with when it comes to I'm guessing he is either Swedish or Danish, possibly even Finnish. I do race with a few Finnish drivers as well. Yes. Anyway, yeah, so Joe has picked up his PS5 controller, thrown it in the bin, and jumped onto a steering wheel and pedal. I hope he actually hasn't thrown his PS5 controller in the bin. I don't advise that. Sir Quinniff up to P4. That is good to see as well. My former teammate in the McLaren riding high in P4, which is very good to see. We do have a few people out of position. Gazzaman not having the best of qualifying sessions at the moment. And Jess is saying she will be she will be doing a last to first challenge. So Jess, we will hold you to that. Did you work out if this is actually your 13th season in One Hub? Because if it is, I did actually curse you earlier on. So the commentary curse did strike early. I do apologise if that is the case. So we're in the last 3 minutes almost, as the drivers will be getting ready for their last runs for the session. Proverb and Mikey are on track at the moment. Yes, Jess will be a force to be reckoned with in One Hub this season. She has improved mightily, I must say. I've raced with Jess now for a few years. I know she's been here for 13 seasons. I think I dare say how long I've been here. I know I've been had a bit of time out, but I've recently joined back. And yes, Papa Squanch says in the chat, everybody is so close. And yes, just over half a second covers P1 to P14. Jess, unfortunately, will not be able to improve. And M125 at the back of the grid, if he can get a time on the board, this will be a hella close qualifying session, which is great to see as we see everybody coming onto track now. So Proverb is on a lap and will be the first driver to set a lap. We also have Frederick on a lap. Also, Mikey will be the first car, I believe, actually, to cross the line. So we'll ride on board with Mikey 4 to 11. And I really hope that isn't Mikey's date of birth, which would be the 4th of February 2011, because that makes me feel very old, as he takes a spin in the Aston Martin, and he will get a chance to go again. So we do have Frederick in the Aston Martin here as well, as I do need to keep an eye on Whooping Proverb, who is on a lap at the moment. It didn't tell me if he is improving or not. As around the last corner, Proverb fires the Haas up towards the line. Doesn't improve. Well, he does improve, but not enough to go up a position. Oh, that's good. Thank God. I was going to say I'll feel very old if they're racing at this age. M125 is currently on the lap. Gazzaman is also on the lap as well. We'll try and get an eye on who is coming around towards the line, as I believe that as Welsh Benjamin actually goes purple in the last sector. A great effort. We do have a McLaren starting a lap, which is Sir Quineth. And Ivor is also going to be the next driver to start a lap. Let's find the next driver across the line then, as we are we are on the sharp end of this session. So M125 is going to be the next car across the line around the final corner. Is it enough to be up there? It is. He has made it so everybody is pretty much within half a second of each other. And now Gazzaman coming around the final corner as well. He needs a major improvement here, and he does. He's up to 8th position, so 1 minute 12.7. And Joey B, I believe, is in the pits. He is bailed on his last lap. We have Mason coming to the line, up to 5th position. As a 1 minute 12.6 for the Welshman. As Matthias goes up to 10th position, we have another Mercedes coming around the last corner, which is Jason. Fractionally improves, but not enough. A few drivers left on track. We have also got Sir Quineth. Proverb around the last corner here. Can Proverb... no, he's not going to set a more competitive time. So we are with Quineth and Ivor. No, Quineth has had enough. He's into the pits. So Ivor, will he improve? Around the final corner for the McLaren. Racing to the line. And he doesn't improve, 37 thousandths down on his time, which is a great shame to see. So I believe that is our qualifying session done and dusted. Yes, so Bonnie Fish, or Fish as he likes to be known, takes pole position in the Alpine, so 1 minute 12.512, a great lap. Then Adagio in the Williams, joining him on the front row, 2 thousandths of a second behind him, so incredibly tight there. And then Ivor is in P3 in the McLaren, Welsh Benjamin in fourth in the Alpine, and then the Welsh takeover of the top five continues with JR Mason in the Red Bull. Sixth is Wapping Proverb, seventh is Gwyneth, eighth is Gazaman, ninth is Frederick, 10th is Matthias, 11th is Joey B, Jason is back as 12th, Ride Dog in 13th, Mikey in 14th, M125 in 15th, and then Jess, unfortunately, DNFing going into the pits, just taking the pit entry a bit too hot. If there's a time to do it, it's do it in the qualifying at least. So here in One Hub Racing, we will do a lobby reset, so the drivers are on the grid, so please ignore the next few minutes of all the smashing and crashing into each other, or even I use this opportunity as a good chance to get a race practice start in. It is very close in P3. Everyone was dubbing P2 to be the tier to watch, but this is incredibly tight already. It's hard to keep an eye on everybody here in this P3 tier, and it'd be very interesting to see how Jess gets on starting down at the back of the field as we are getting ready for our false race start. So yes, Fish using this opportunity to get a good race start in. As you can see, everybody smashing in the background, having a jolly time. As that is Sir Gwyneth, I believe, ploughing into the back of that Alpine. So yes, everybody needs to retire or DNF by the first sector line, otherwise you will have your hand slapped by the stewards here, and we do not want that. As now we will go back to the lobby screen, and the lobby host will make sure everything is in order for the main events, which will be starting shortly. And I feel as we do have another break in things here in One Hub, it will be a good chance for me to get my practice in for our sponsors and get them read out once again whilst we are doing the lobby reset. And I will also use this opportunity to get a drink of water. So here are our false race results. Sir Gwyneth, top of the podium, but we will ignore that. Oops. As we wait for everybody to get back into the lobby. Hello everybody in the chat as well. Please do feel free to fire in your predictions for this race. It's incredibly tight in qualifying. I'm sure the race will be even tighter if that is a thing to go on. So once again, we'll quickly go through our sponsors and partners for Delta One Hub Racing. So yes, we have the Delta.app. This is for over 18s only. All your investments in one app. Make smarter decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success. If you want to know more, please do type !Delta in the Twitch chat, and that will bring up the link for you to go and download the app. And our next sponsor is Next Level Racing. They give us our prizes for each season. I'm actually sat in my Next Level prize, which I won a few years ago. I remember Nick DMing me, telling me that I've won this. And yes, we've gone full circle, Nick. I am sat in my seat doing comms for you guys tonight. Yes, please do check them out. They prizes are not to be confirmed. Well, prizes aren't confirmed just as of yet, I believe. But please do keep an eye on our Discord channel. Next sponsors is Sim Racing Setups. They provide a pro setup bundle for F1 2025 created by top esports drivers. They offer dry, intermediate, and wet setups. They're also offering two type of dry setups, safe and esports, and they also provide strategy tips, I can't talk, and a track map on how to use ERS during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for our Driver of the Day winners for One Hub Racing, and One Hub Racing members to get 5% off their setups. Pure Sim Gear, they provide racing socks and racing gloves, as they are they sponsor us for drivers who get the most poles and fastest laps over the season. You can also use OHR 10P to get 10% off their sim racing socks and gloves when you go and check out. Please do go give them a check. As Vespertine also partnered with us. They provide our merch, our wonderful shirts that you can buy, and also offer us great prizes as well. And then finally, SimGrid. Run us through the community and the platform. This is where you sign up to Delta One Hub Racing, and you sign in, you apply everything. Please do go check out SimGrid. It's a great place for racers to get involved in. Right. I'm just going to quickly use this as an opportune moment to go quickly grab a glass of water, as it's going to be plenty of talking for me. So yes, I'll catch you in a moment. So the session is loading up, and now we will wait on the grid for, I believe it's 2 minutes. Nobody is to ready up until the host tells you it is safe to do so. So it gives everybody a chance to select their strategies, get everything in order for this race. Yes, if you are listening and racing, you make sure you load up your setups, and yes, get everything how you like it. Yes, readying up early will result in a good old slap on the wrist and a penalty. I believe it's points deductions this season. So yes, you do not want to fall foul of that. Otherwise, you are going to upset your teammate, and yeah, and just in general, everybody in the lobby as well. So drivers are currently on the grids selecting their strategies, as we get this wonderful shot of the pit lane. Never understand why we can't get a good shot of the starting grid when it's like this. Looking into the pits, everything seems a bit quiet. In reality, that would not be the case. So if you are new to One Hub as well, we do a mandatory 2-stop race in all of our races. No matter where we go, it is 2-stop, whether it's dry, wet, no matter what. Yeah, I apologise for my daughter screaming in the background if you can hear her. Sounds like she's getting murdered, but she just wants to come in the cupboard and join me. Yes, courtesy of my daughter, Primrose, who wants to get in on the commentary action. So yes, we have a mandatory 2-stop here in One Hub. So let's... No, she won't disconnect the Wi-Fi. The cupboard door is shut. I literally have a cupboard under the stairs like Harry Potter. I'm stowed away, safely out of the way. And I'll tell you what, it is very, very warm in here. As Jess tells everybody to ready up in the P3 chat. So we'll be racing in the next few moments. I love my cupboard. It is nice under here. You won't find me anywhere else if I can help it. Right, it would help if I grabbed my controller and got ready for the start of this race. So here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We are underway in Delta.app, One Hub Racing. Let's go. Bonniefish leads the way. Gets a good start away from Agio in the Williams. As let's just quickly get the camera up here. Yes, so there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the background, but everybody is through safe and sound. Let's just quickly get everything up how we like it. We'll have position change on the side here at the moment just to see who the big winners and losers are. And yes, Bonniefish has had a great start. Adagio, the Italian in the Williams, it's been overtaken by Welsh Benjamin in the Alpine on the outside. A fantastic opportunistic overtake there from the Welshman. As now Whopping Proverb is in 4th position in the Haas. Iverbryn Mike has lost 2 places from the start of the race as well. He will not be too pleased at losing 2 positions, but also still in the race, which is great to see as well. As you have to remind me of this guy's name. I forgot it. Freddie, I believe. Yeah, Freddie. As J.R. Mason down 2 in 7th. Joey B's had a good start. As there is a Williams actually. Yes, Frederick has had a great start, up 4 positions, a fantastic start as actually the Williams of Adagio, who started second, has found himself down in 11th and overtaken by Sir Gwyneth around the last corner. Sir Gwyneth not needing any invites there. Jess is up 3 positions. We will keep an eye on Jess. Her pace in practice earlier was pretty promising, so she will be a force to be reckoned with in this P3 tier. M125 in 14th at the moment. He's up 1 position, but Matthias has lost 6 positions, and Matthias has lost his front wing as well for equal measure. So Fish out in the lead. It's an Alpine 1-2. What a great start for the Alpines here. As now we have seen the position change. We have yellow flags, and that is... Please don't be Jess. She's had a bit of a spin there, but M125 has had even more of a spin. At the back, lighten up their rears. You don't want to cook those rear tyres around here. Now we've seen the position change. Let's have a look at the tyre strategy here at the moment. So we have 14 of our 16 drivers opting for the medium tyres around here. Whopping Proverb in 3rd position is on the soft tyres. And then, well, actually, I didn't see what Matthias started on, but he may as well started on the medium tyres. But Proverb going different to everybody else, which is what we like to see. There is always one lunatic who we race with, no matter where you go, who does something incredibly different to anyone else. And Proverb overtaken by Iverbryn Mike, and those softs will not last long around here. They will start to her as M125 is into the pits. So we're looking nice and comfortable now, and the 2 Alpines are looking even more comfortable out front at the moment. A 2-second gap to Fish in 1st position, as Welsh Benjamin is looking to chase down his teammate. 1.5 seconds to Ivor in 3rd position at the moment. Proverb does have Frederick behind him, and J.R. Mason and Joey B. It's a bit of a train beginning to form behind the Haas driver here. We will keep an eye on Frederick, see if he gets the moves moving. He has a train of 6 cars, I believe it is, behind him, chasing down this 4th position, as the McLaren driver of Ivor will be very happy to see a gap forming, and this will help him no end on his bid for a podium anyway. as running very wide there was Frederick, as just doesn't get the drive out of the last corner. I know he ran very wide there, but even so, I think even if he'd have taken that corner perfectly, just that Haas is a rocket ship down the straight. Can't really, these medium tyre runners just don't have an answer for his pace at the moment, as he still gets the optimum life out of these soft tyres. Joey B in his first league race on the wheel, down in 7th position. A good friend of mine is Joey B, so I'm sorry if it does sound a bit biased, but I do wish him the best of luck. Also Sir Gwyneth, my former teammate. We also have Gazzaman here, Joey B's teammate, in 10th position at the moment. He is within a DRS of Jason ahead, so the DRS train is slowly growing. Yes, we had it was a bit spaced out on the last lap, but now our DRS train is pretty much almost not quite doubled in size, but it's getting there. It's definitely growing like the hungry caterpillar, as I would read my daughter. But still, Freddie is some way behind Whopping Proverb on the DRS straight here, and I just don't think he's going to get anywhere near enough. As you can see, he's out of VRS pretty much, as Proverb has managed his DRS a lot better here in the Haas, and just doing what he needs to do. And the longer he stays in this position, the stronger his race will become. He will grab a great he'll get a great grip on it. And Bonnie Fish was pole, and the time was, I believe, 1 minute 12.5. I'm sure others may correct me, but I believe it is 1:12.5 for pole position. So the gap hovering at 2 seconds between the two Alpines out front, either just closing the gap ever so slightly to Welsh Benjamin ahead, but that has also been neutralised and hovering around 1.5 seconds. Proverb has lost a lot of time to Freddie behind now, and Frederick even is looking a lot more likely to pounce on this lap down the main straight. It's a very tricky place to overtake around here, and he's run very wide there. Does he have front wing damage on that Aston Martin? He doesn't. No, he just cannot cope with that last corner. Perhaps the dirty air, as a load of drivers inherit, and actually we have a bit of a squabble going on at the back here between Gazzaman and Jason for P8, and Gazzaman and Jason still side by side, a bit of wheel banging. I think that was artificial damage coming off the cars there. Nothing too concerning, other than just the game just throwing out some artificial damage. So JR Mason and Joey B, Rydog, Gazzaman and Jason move up a position here, as now Mason will have his turn to have a go at Whopping Proverb for 4th position. Surely the Haas driver will think about boxing within the next few laps, as I'm sure he will start to be a sitting duck on the main straight. Out front, Fish has pulled another 0.6 on Welsh Benjamin in the lead. Ivor Bryn Mike is still hanging on, the 2.5 behind Welsh Benjamin. Potential for an undercut there. We'll keep an eye on that. So around the final corner, as yes, Mason is closer than Frederick was in the Aston Martin, but I don't think he's burning his ERS, is he? No, he isn't. He's just very content to sit behind the Haas driver going down the main straight. Jess has found her way up to P10 from starting at the back, which is also very promising for her race. So it is 2 stops around here, so it will not be long before we see someone pull the trigger. Sir Gwyneth has pulled his trigger for the race, as he has got F1 Matthias. Matthias replaced his front wing on the first lap, as we are going to see our DRS overtake into turn 1. Fairly straightforward. Quinn not fighting that, and just letting Matthias be as he gets ahead of him. Adagio in the Williams, he had good qualifying pace, but his race pace is somewhat to be desired so far in the Williams. Just yeah, he's out of DRS, and once you find yourself out of the DRS train around here, it is very tricky. Joey B has a box for the hard tyres, so he is looking for the undercut. Is the Ferrari driver, and now will he get a good undercut? No one has decided to take an excursion into the pits this lap, so it's as she was out front. Welsh Benjamin's finding himself 3 seconds behind his teammate. Fish is having a nice easy Sunday drive out in the lead. Ivor Bryn Mike still hovering around 1.5 seconds behind Welsh Benjamin, doing a great job in the McLaren as well. And also Proverb is doing a fantastic drive on the softs as well. He is only 3.5 seconds behind Ivor Bryn Mike, or Ivor as I'll shorten his name down to. He is doing brilliant on those soft tyres. Has still kept Mason and Rydog behind, and really beginning to hurt these guys' races as well. They're on the medium tyres. Technically, the medium tyres should be hand over fist faster than the soft tyres at this point, as Rydog runs very wide on that very fast right-hander. The elevation change at the top of that hill can really unstabilise the cars, especially if you run out into the gravel there, as we just saw. But he's still within DRS, and that is the key thing you want around here, DRS. If you fall out of DRS, then you'll doubles up. Proverb is in the pits this lap. Will he slow the car down nicely for the pit line? He does, and we'll keep an eye on what tyres he throws on his first pit stop. So into the pits, I see the Aston Martin pit crew coming out on the hard tyres. It's going to be medium tyres for the Haas driver. Okay, very aggressive there, as we see Frederick onto the hard tyres as well. Jess is on the hard tyres as well, and she's caught up to Freddie very nicely, actually. As you can see, she's can almost reach out of her cockpit and touch the rear wing of Freddie's Aston Martin there. But as he very nearly goes over the white line, that's borderline, I would say. So Joey B is the driver to keep an eye on. He has actually jumped Proverb here. So Joey B has had a very handy undercut here. That undercut looking very powerful, as we've seen Joey B demonstrate here in the Ferrari. He has got ahead of Whopping Proverb. Bit of overtaking going on here as Mason and Rydog side by side. Mason managing to keep hold of P4 as it stands, as our race leader has jumped into the pits. We'll ride on board with these two as they squabble here. They all stay out back here. So Bonnie Fish and Ivor are in the pits, and they will be throwing on. I will let you know once it changes. So Bonnie Fish goes onto the hard tyres, and he is going to come back out down in 7th, I believe. Yes, he is coming back out in 7th. Ivor has opted for the medium tyres, and so has Mikey. So Joey B getting overtaken by Whopping Proverb there, but he is on the medium tyres as Proverb. If Joey B can just keep up with the Haas driver ahead and use him as a good marker, he will pull himself into this race even more. So Welsh Benjamin has inherited the lead of this Barcelona Grand Prix. This is round 1 of season 28 of... Oh, there's a retirement in the pits. Okay, sorry, I thought that was on track. Got excited, so no danger of a safety car there. I'm guessing Welsh Benjamin will jump into the pits, and M125's session has come to a close. Very early doors here. Rydog does have Gazaman follow into the pits. Gazaman also has Mason follow into the pits. And the two Mercedes drivers are very close together, as Jason now takes the race lead, as he does have a track limits penalty, I believe. Very unfortunate for M125 there, as he is our first official retirement in this P3 tier this season. So Adagio has worked his way up to P2, but he has done 10 laps on those medium tyres. They will start to cry out in pain, as Ivor has actually got ahead of Bonnie Fish here. You can see how much the undercut really does work around here. So Ivor has jumped ahead of the race leader. So Ivor is in the net P1 at the moment. So Alpine's not having it all their way here at the moment. as Joey B still hanging on to the back of Whopping Proverb, but has just fallen out of the DRS now. But this is the battle to keep an eye on now. The two Alpines are really having to fight with the McLaren now, as it will be very interesting to see what tyres they opt for their last stint. They both have yet to pit again. Let's quickly get the stops on our left there. So you can see the top two have yet to stop in this mandatory two-stop race, as we see Jason into the pits. And Adagio in the Williams jumps into the pits as well and safely slows his Williams down, avoiding a speed limit penalty. So Ivor sets the fastest lap, so 1 minute 15.392, and the Alpines at the moment just don't have an answer for. Oops, let's get the interval. Wrong one. The tyres is what we're interested in here on the left. Yes, so Bonifish is 1.4 seconds behind Ivor and actually made that 1.5. Such is the tyre advantage on the medium tyres around here, as Welsh Benjamin has closed up to his teammate a lot. Perhaps just getting held up with the pit lane part of this Grand Prix. I was trying to think of a more suitable word. The stint is probably more acceptable to use there. So Joey B is also in a bit of no man's land here, 1.5 seconds to Proverb ahead, but he has a nice cushion behind him, so running very nice in fifth position at the moment. So everybody on track at the moment has boxed, which is good to see, so everybody just needs to pit once more. As further back here we have got Gazzaman trying to fend off Mikey behind. Mikey is on the medium tyres. As we're seeing, the medium tyres are a hell of a lot faster than the hard tyres at the moment. So down the pit straight, but nothing doing in this DRS train. As I noted earlier, it's very hard to overtake, especially once you're in a DRS train here. Jason has Jess for company in P10 and 11 here. Jess looking to break her way into the top 10 here, and wondering if she's clocked at the undercut is very powerful, and if she can time her second stop nicely here, there's a good haul of positions to be had. Mason also has had a moment somewhere. He's down in 12th. The two Red Bulls also in their distinct, as Mason is in the normal livery, and Jess is in the Japanese Grand Prix livery from last season, which Max Verstappen did win in real life. It is a lovely white livery, that one. It reminds me that could easily be on a chewing gum sort of a wrapper, that livery, and it would look cool. So Welsh Benjamin out of VRS, trying to chase down his teammate Fish, and Fish is actually out of VRS as well. So the head scratching for Alpine continues as Ivor in the McLaren races ahead, and if Ivor will on the medium tyres as well, will get to pit earlier on the mediums, and if he does undercut again, he will do. So Ivor is looking very handy here to actually win this Grand Prix if things stay as they are at the moment. But let's look further back here. We do have a nice, healthy train going on behind Rydog in the Mercedes here. He has got Frederick, Gazzaman, Mikey, Jason, Jess, and just about Mason to contend with in this train behind. Mason just not going to get a dose of DRS down this back straight here. Jess gets DRS and is just hanging on to the back of Jason. So Rydog 1.5 seconds behind Joey B ahead, will be trying his very best to catch up to Joey B in fifth position at the moment. As I said earlier, Joe is on his first race on the wheel and is doing very well indeed. So a few track limit penalties out there as Jason gets past Mikey around the outside on the hard tyres. It's a great move by the Mercedes driver as he works his way up to 9th position as he sets himself about Gazzaman now ahead. But it will be hard to overtake in this train. I wonder if that was a mistake by Mikey somewhere. Hello, Nick, in the chat. It's nice to have you with us. So Welsh Benjamin has just fallen outside of his teammates DRS. And now Fish still finding some work to do as Jason gets a note. I think that's his second track limits penalty. Does Jason, that will hurt him come the end of the Grand Prix. So either also we do have yellow flags out there. I'm not too sure what that is for. Gazza is has had a moment to himself at the back there, and that won't help his cause for a good points finish here, which is a shame to see. So we are back with our little DRS train here. Jess and Mason are at the back in the Red Bulls of the train, looking and waiting to pounce on any mistakes caused by the drivers ahead. As there's a snap of the steering wheel there by Rydog. He will not want that, as that will get Frederick's hopes up of an overtake here for the Aston Martin driver. Frederick's tyres are 2 laps older. He does have the joint oldest age in tyres in this DRS train here. Joey B has 9 laps on the hard tyres, as a whopping proverb again will be a driver to keep an eye on. The 2 Alpines are on the hard tyres, and if the Haas driver does box early enough and gets onto the hard, changes his tyres before these guys do, certainly, as we've seen after the first stint, the undercut is huge around here, like race changing huge, as I'm sure he will bear that in mind as he got overtaken by Joe. Surely his race experience, proverb's been in Delta 1 hub for a while now. He will know how powerful the undercut is, and his racing head will be telling him that as he is trying to build a nice gap to the cars behind. Rydog is now officially within DRS of Joey B in the Ferrari. So our DRS train gets a carriage longer. So all the way down from 5th to 11th is our DRS train here in Barcelona. Hopefully a lot more reliable than trains here in the UK. So we'll keep an eye on what Rydog can do. Can he eat into this gap that Joey B has got ahead of him? As yes, he is looking fairly comfortable, and now I would say definitely a lot faster than Joey B and the Ferrari ahead of him. So the Mercedes coming into this element now around this final corner in the Mercedes. Will Joey B be a sitting duck as we see Ivor in the pits? Now this is what we want to keep an eye on. If Ivor comes out and has clear air, he has a great chance to get the overtake done. He is in the pits. I don't think he's made a mistake, has he? He's has he made a mistake somewhere? Have I missed that? Please do point out, or is this an early pit stop to get the hards to the end? I'm sorry if I did miss that. We do have yellow flags at the back. Sir Quinniff and Matthias. Oh no, is he at the pit lane? Oh no, I'm terrible at missing penalties. That's yes, 10 seconds speeding in the pits. It is 10 seconds in the pit lane. Well, that's fair. Yeah, for Ivor and for Frederick, actually. Yeah. So Ivor has a lot of work to do here, but the undercut is powerful, so I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion here. Let's see how he gets on. He does have Gazzaman in front of him. If he can dispatch Gazzaman down this DRS straight and get in clear air, then nothing is impossible. Joey B in the pits slows his car down. Yeah, perhaps he's seen a few 10-second penalties floating around and definitely making sure that Ferrari was slowed down in time for the pits, as Joey B is our next driver in the pits. You can see Ivor is comfortably down the pit straight, and Joey B has a lot of the pits to negotiate here, as Ivor now still stuck behind the Ferrari of Gazza ahead. Now this will not help his race, and I'm wondering, well, I'm sure the two Alpines actually will know of his penalty as well, so they do have a bit of time to play with, but they won't have much time to play with, as I'm sure they will. They're not close enough to double stack, unfortunately. Someone, which I would imagine Welsh Benjamin, will probably have to do an extra lap on the hard tyres. But if they're going to react to Ivor now, then, or Mike, they need to pit. They need to pit for that undercut. Does become a very difficult to catch. So Joey B catching up to the back of Sir Gwyneth as well. We'll keep an eye on Joey B, as he will look very handy on an undercut around here. Mikey in the pits on the medium tyres. That is what slows the car down just in time. Nicely done by the Aston Martin driver. So the two Red Bulls propelled up into 7th and 8th, and probably fingers crossed for a safety car for them. I'm sure they will be driving with their fingers and toes crossed if they can. Not advisable on the wheel and pedal, I must say. And Gwyneth gets 10 seconds for speeding into the pits. Not what he wants. He will be not the happiest bunny with that penalty. Proverb as well, we'll keep an eye on him. He's coming into pit stop territory now. 11 laps on those medium tyres, as he will want to try and get an advantage on the two Alpines ahead of him, as Rydog is closing up behind in the Mercedes. The Mercedes driver has actually pulled out a nice gap to the Aston Martin behind, and this is Rydog's time to shine in the Mercedes at Barcelona. Unfortunately, there isn't too much sunshine around here. We do our adaptive weather system here in One Hub, as we haven't got any rain forecast for today, as Proverb does jump into the pits as predicted, slows the car down nicely. Perhaps also bearing in mind he knows there's a few drivers with 10 seconds knocking around on the track, as the two Alpines now, the gap is 3.7 seconds roughly, as side by side here, Frederick and Jason, as Frederick does get into P4 past the Mercedes driver. We did have Alpine in first and second, then Mercedes in third and fourth, but the Aston Martin driver, Frederick, finds himself in a yummy Mercedes sandwich. Jessica Bull, the crown in our Delta One Hub league here, is in the P6. She does need to pit again. She was very unfortunate to have that DNF in qualifying going into the pits, but she is doing a great job to work her way back up the field. Be very intriguing to see where she comes out. It's definitely time to pit. If I was definitely a race engineer, I'll be in her ear saying, "Come on, it's time to pit now. Now is your time to get into the pits and try and get an undercut on these drivers ahead." She does stay out. A lot of these drivers staying out. I'm wondering what their trick is for this last stint. Will they come out on a set of mediums or softs even? We've seen a few drivers opt for soft tyres, especially in the P4 tier as well. We had a nicer colour effect on the timing screen on our left-hand side of the tyre choices around here. So Ivor has got past Gazzaman, and Ivor isn't making up the gap as he would like in the McLaren. He's pulling along Gazzaman behind him, as Gwyneth sets the fastest lap with a 1 minute 15.365. As we will check fastest lap soon. I believe we do also offer a point for the fastest lap outside the top 10, as Gwyneth has just cemented that for himself at the moment. As Adagio in the Williams running a bit wide back there, but no harm done for now. Both Alpines opting to stay out. I can smell a medium stint coming up here for the two Alpines, as the gap is probably not far off being able to double stack on the same lap. So yes, Jess and Mason are in the pits. Bit too close. Mason could lose a bit of time here. Yeah, he is going to lose a fair bit of time there as Jess jumps onto the medium tyres. And so does Mason. That won't help his bid for a good undercut here, but we'll keep an eye on Jess. Joe has got a nice undercut here. And Proverb going to the end as well on these medium tyres. Those medium tyres may be crying out a bit come lap 33. So we are on lap 23 of 33 here. We'll keep an eye on our leaders as it will be time to pit at the moment. The field is spread out nicely. No one actually currently within DRS. Gazman just hanging on to the back of Mike in the McLaren. I will get into the habit of calling him Mike as Fish comes into the pits, and so does Welsh Benjamin. And what's going on here? This is very slow by Fish. Now that is very interesting. Did Fish deliberately slow down so his teammate? I'm not too sure that what happened there. He is very cautious going into the pits. And look, they did have a gap to double stack, but now Welsh Benjamin is going to be held up and hurt a lot. Not too sure what that is all about there, but definitely very questionable. Alonso did the same to Lewis Hamilton in the McLaren at Hungary all those years ago, and I'm wondering if that was a bit of tactics there by Fish to hold up his teammate. I'd love to know his reasoning behind that. Very curious. So Jess is on the back of Mikey in the Aston Martin here, looking to get the overtake done. Jess has actually got ahead of the other Aston Martin of Freddie, but I believe Freddie did serve 10 seconds in the pits. Oops, we will get the penalties up shortly. Oh no, Freddie would have surely lost that 10 seconds stopping in the pits. But Jess is all over the back of the Aston Martin, and when will she opt to make her overtake? Will she do it down the back straight, or will she save it for the pit straight? She is going to do it down the back straight into this long left-hander, and she gets the move done nicely. It's a great move there by Jess. Now she hunts down Joey B in the Ferrari. So Bonnie Fish and Benjamin have both boxed out of the lead. We do have both Mercedes drivers to pit as well. Intrigued actually to see Mike's gap. So gap to the leader, so he is 9 seconds. Okay, so he's safe by, he needs a lot more than that. He's got about roughly just under 5 seconds to either behind. So currently, as it stands, these 10 seconds is going to knock him down to roughly 8 for the moment. I know there are drivers to still box out front. So we will focus on that a bit more as we come into the last few laps, as detrimental that gap will be ever so important. Yes, that gap will add a different philosophy onto Mike's race here, as he will fight with all his fury to get on to the podium. So both Mercedes are still out, and I'm sure this is going to be a soft stint for them at the end. Adagio in the Williams into the pits for his second mandatory stop. So Jessica Bull and Mikey still going head to head on the medium and hard tyres. I believe Mikey has worked his way back past her at some point in this race, as Welsh Benjamin chasing a Proverb around this circuit at the moment. Lap 26 of 33, and we are into the final 8 laps of this Grand Prix. So Ivor is our net race leader, but that 10-second penalty is going to come back and haunt him, I feel. Joey B having a great race as well. As Rydog into the pits for his last pit stop, and Jason stays out for another lap so he doesn't get held up. Can hear the wheel guns in the pits, and yes, Rydog does jump onto the soft tyres. Where will Rydog come out into this Grand Prix? He's going to come out behind Joey B. He does, and those soft tyres he will need to utilise to get past Joey B. I'm sure he will. Those soft tyres are going to be quite handy for the next few laps. So Jess finds herself in an Aston Martin sandwich here, not the place she wants to be, as actually Freddie looks up to the inside of the Red Bull and he lunges his Aston Martin. How late do you brake? And licks the stamps and sends it, as Danny Ricciardo would say, as he has worked his way past Jess, and the two Red Bulls now find themselves down in 10th and 11th. That's very, very deep there. Oh no, there's contact. There is contact between Jess and and Frederick. That's a great shame. That is excuse me, an awful shame for Jess and Frederick there. Just sums up their day. So Bonnie Fish is up to second, or Fish even, but he is on the medium tyres and he does not have 10 seconds to contend with. Proverb has Welsh Benjamin ahead of him, trying to close down the target. As you can see, Rydog has actually got past Joey B for 5th position at the moment. It's a great drive by the Mercedes driver to obtain P5 in the closing stages of this Grand Prix. So now we will get the gap to the leader and see what 10 seconds will actually do to Ivor at the moment. So we got to keep an eye. At the moment, he will finish 4th, but Rydog is on the soft tyres and closing the gap to the leader. So I'd say at the moment, it will stand roughly P5 for Ivor Bryn Mike in the McLaren ahead. Whilst Mike has the heartache of a 10-second penalty, Sir Gwyneth at the back has the heartache of being the last over the line at the moment. Not where he'll want to be on his opening race, will Sir Gwyneth. But I'm sure there will be tracks which favour his driving style later on in the calendar. As a Proverb now just not able to keep up with Benjamin ahead. I'd say those extra 3 laps on those medium tyres, that's the point where they say, no thank you, I can't keep up with this pace, as he tries to keep up with Welsh Benjamin. But Rydog is definitely a driver on the move at the moment. Maybe a podium is just about within reach here for the Mercedes driver. We will keep an eye on the Mercedes as he races up towards the sector 2 line, enters the last sector. As it stands, Rydog is within 6/10 of demoting Mike down to 5th position. I can't see Mike finishing any lower than 5th at the moment with that 10-second penalty. So we are on lap 30 of 33. There is a lot of work to do here for Rydog if he is going to take the podium. But Fish will also want to take the win, and not via penalty either. He will want to be the first across the line for pride. As Welsh Benjamin and Proverb and now Rydog are all within the same vicinity of each other on the track here. Will be interesting to see if anyone further back does box to try and get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But Rydog has worked out, has worked his way into the 10-second barrier of Mike ahead, and Mike can see that on his timing screen. He will be very conscious knowing he has just lost a place here, as now Rydog will look to use these soft tyres to propel himself up a position down the pit straight. Can he get the job done? I'm sure he won't want to get the overtake done too early, but actually he goes for it. The door opened as he gets a bit of a oversteer there, just clipping the curb, and now will Proverb fight back on the medium tyres. Rydog, I'm sure, is burning his ERS, but maybe not. Just got the overtake done a bit too early there. I'm not one to encourage TRS games, but perhaps I would have held back there and just used the DRS to build the gap, because if he does that again, he can almost certainly kiss goodbye to the podium. So Fish has worked his way ahead of Mike in first position. He is very, very unlucky is Mike here, as I don't think Jason will have the pace to close up to demote Mike down even further, and Joey B, I would say, is just trying to finish the race now in sixth position. But it's a great drive by those guys, at least, as Jason does actually have penalties. We will get the penalties on board now, as tyres are no longer relevant. We know Rydog is on the soft tyres, and he is looking to get this overtake done on the Hash driver ahead. So Rydog down the pit straight, burning his ERS to the line. Now that's where you get the overtake done. He has not got much time to try and catch Welsh Benjamin ahead, as now he is clear of a whopping Proverb behind him, and we will get the what am I looking to do? We'll get the interval gap back up. We know Mike is going to finish fifth at the very best here as it stands, but we want to keep an eye on Rydog's gap to Benjamin ahead. 2.2 seconds at the moment is the gap. 2.1. Sir Quinniff gets his first track limits penalty of the race, but that won't do anything. He is 32.5 seconds behind Matthias. Is Jason not doing his bid on those soft tyres any favours? Yes, 9 seconds now. He's going to lose a handful of positions as well. And perhaps Rydog's tyres are just not fresh enough now to catch up to Welsh Benjamin ahead, as he has built a gap to Proverb to try and keep fourth position. I would be surprised if Proverb can close up and overtake with what is left of this race. We are on lap 33 of 33. There was a moment back there for Frederick, I believe. Jess has worked her way back up to the field as well here, and she could snatch maybe could snatch P10 if we'll get the gap to the leader back up, actually, but we'll also want to make sure we ride on board with Bonnie Fish across the line, as Jason, Jess is within that 10 seconds or 9 seconds roughly, almost even. It's going to be close. If she carries on with this pace, she will be there. So Fish rounds the last corner to seal the first win of the season in the Alpine. He doesn't weave across the line. He gets the job done. It's a great drive by Fish. Ivor crosses the line in second, but he is going to drop down even more. Alpine P1 and P2. Rydog does get the podium. How did that happen? Has Proverb had a moment somewhere? Rydog gets the podium in the Mercedes. That is a great finish. There. That's why I need a co-coms in here to catch those sort of things. Ivor does drop down to P5. Joey B comes home in 6th, as Jason does indeed drop behind Jess by 2/10 as he loses P6, as Welsh Benjamin celebrates an Alpine 1-2 in the chat. A great drive from the Alpines here today. fantastic by Bonnie Fish, as Sir Quinniff is the last driver to complete this Grand Prix. Just taking it nice and steady is the McLaren driver. Proverb has left the session, and he did. I'm not too sure where Proverb actually came. Fourth, I think. Yeah, I think yes, he got demoted by Rydog. So it's time for champagne and time for a little break dance by our race winner. Celebrates lifting that P1 trophy into the air. So a superb start for the Alpine drivers. It's P1 and P2 maximum points on the podium for the Alpines. They could not get their season off to a better start. So let's quickly bang through the race finish. Or finish in order. So Fish takes the win in P1, and then Welsh Benjamin in P2. Rydog rounds off the podium. A great finish for Rydog there. Mike was fifth, actually. Whopping Proverb was fourth. Mike was in fifth. Joey B in sixth. Mikey in seventh. Mason in eighth. Gazman in ninth. Jess in 10th. Jason in 11th. Adagio in 12th. Matthias in 13th. Frederick in 13th. Sir Quinniff in 14th. And our only retirement of the race was M125. So let me just quickly get a DM open. No, not you. There we go. So it's time to announce our driver of the day, sponsored by Sim Racing Setups. So our Sim Racing Setups driver of the day. So I get to nominate two drivers, I believe. If anyone is in the Discord chat, if you could help me, do I have to give them interview questions as well? If anybody is there, as we'll quickly get it knocked out and get the stream finished so we can get over to P2, which starts in 5 minutes. So I'll pick my two driver of the days. I'm going to give it to Fish in the Alpine as my first nominee. And my question to Fish was, very strong pace throughout the race. Was you at all concerned by Mike before he got his 10-second penalty? Yes, that was a pretty head-scratching moment as Mike got a good undercut under his first stop. And my second nominee for the Sim Racing Setup driver of the day will go to Rydog. Snatches a podium in the Mercedes on the last lap. So a great effort by him, and was going on to softs at the end. Always the plan to try and pick off a few positions. That was a great finish by yourself, Rydog. So yes, they are the two drivers I have nominated, Rydog and Fish, for our Sim Racing Setups driver of the day. And before we end the stream, I'll just quickly run through our sponsors once again. Delta.app is our title sponsor this season. They sponsor the league, and new for this season, all your investments in one app. Make smarter decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success at the using the app. I do stress it is for over 18s only, so please, if you are under 18, do not download the Delta app until you are legally old enough. So our next sponsor is Next Level Racing. They provide our prizes for each season. As I said earlier, I'm sat in a rig which I run by Next Level Racing, as I'm very thankful for winning. I think it's P3 a few seasons ago. And Sim Racing Setups, they provide professional pro setup bundles for F1 2025 created by the top esports drivers. They offer dry, intermediate, and wet setups, and they also offer dry setups which are safe and esports for the casual or more professional racers we have here. And yes, please do check them out. They offer ERS management for qualifying laps too. And yes, you can also get 5% off being a One Hub member. Pure Sim Gear, they offer racing socks and gloves to anybody on the wheel and pedals here in One Hub Racing. When you go and check out, use OHR10P to get 10% off at the checkout. And also Vespertine provide us with great merch such as shirts and other bits and bobs on their website. Please do go check them out. And finally, SimGrid. Organising these races would not be possible without SimGrid applying for the league and then checking in or checking out for whatever reason. So I believe that is it for my first One Hub commentary. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in and listening, and thank you for your comments. It's been a pleasure to have you on board, and I will catch you next week. Let's just quickly tell you what next week's race is actually. Let me just find it as a. So next week we are off to Spielberg, Austria, the Alps of Austria. So yes, I will catch you next week. I have been Lawrence. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next week. Thank you all so much. Goodbye.